What's going on, you guys? So we have a couple more things on the chassis we gotta button up, and I figure today we'll try and tackle all that stuff. So we got our tow strap in the front here kind of mounted. The bracket is welded onto the bar, but we do need to add some reinforcement to it. That way it doesn't want to bend this way. So we're gonna have to go back in there and add a couple gusset brackets to it just to make it extra strong. That way it, doesn't rip off immediately when we try to pull from it. And then we still have to add the one in the rear here as well. So we're probably gonna cut a hole right here because that's where the bash bar is. Well, it's actually a little lower. It's about right here. So we're gonna cut a hole right here and do the same thing for a tow strap in the rear. And then while we're at it, my buddy Chance let me borrow his MIG welder. So I'm gonna get this thing fired up, run a couple test passes with it to get it dialed in, and then we're gonna go ahead and finally weld this cage all the way to the chassis. And then after that, pretty much 90% of our chassis work will be done. The only thing we're still gonna have to finish up after that is the rear firewall. So I'm probably gonna get some templates done and figure out where I need to notch those firewall plates out and make them fit over the cage. So we have quite a bit of work ahead of us for today, so let's get started. Okay, we have our tow hooks installed, front and rear reinforced, so that is done. Next on the list of stuff we got to do, I think it's about time to finally knock off welding the cage to the chassis. So now our cage is finally completely welded into the car, and that means that the cage is done. While we were at it, we went ahead and welded the plates for the rear down bars for the rear tube chassis section also, because I forgot that I didn't do that and noticed it while I was back there. So all the cage work finally done, off the list. So now I think it's about time we tackled the one last section of chassis work that we really need to take care of, and that's the rear firewall. So I'm not going to put any of the stuff that I took apart up here back together because we're at the point where we're almost ready for paint. So I'm actually going to be stripping all of the lines, electrical, everything out of this car real soon. So all the stuff I took out, we're just going to leave out for now. I'm probably going to pull the water box out, the lines, pump, all that stuff. That way we have a little more room to get back there and start working on the cage. or not the cage, start working on the firewall. So my favorite thing happened. As I was in the middle of working, my battery died. And it's probably for the best, because that firewall looks like dog. I mean, I've said in the past, I'm not a fan of doing sheet metal work. Yeah, it doesn't look that great. It'll work for now, though. We're kind of, you know, in a crunch time situation here, so I didn't want to spend 3-4 days making a firewall to look super pretty, so I just kind of made it so it works. And you can see it's definitely not the prettiest, so it's gonna need some tapage along the corners with the high temp tape stuff. You can see we already did that around the bars on both sides. Yeah, we just kind of notched it, slid it, and then taped up the seam. If I don't make a new firewall, I'll probably make a patch piece to screw on over where that seam is, but for now it's whatever, it'll work. I also started kind of stripping some crap out of the interior in here, just since it is going to be getting ready to go to paint and get the chassis painted, but you know, I'm gonna have to wait till the weather breaks for that at least. Okay, so now we get to mark some more stuff off the list. Weld cage in, done. Toe straps, done. Firewall, doesn't look good, but it's done. Started plugging some holes in the rear. Didn't really finish all of it yet. Kind of running out of time here today, so I think we're gonna call it a day on that. Oh, dual caliper nuts. I did that while the battery was dead too, so that's done. I actually can get to them really easily with those quarter panels off, so I just kind of went back there and threw some nuts on it. So brakes are done, except for the fact that we took everything apart and we have to put it all back together, but fabrication wise, brakes are done. Chassis, almost done. Wire intercooler pub, didn't finish that. List is getting smaller. Now, unfortunately, I didn't have time to pull the engine out this weekend. I mean, my connecting rods aren't in yet anyways, and I still need to order main and rod bearings before it can go to the machine shop, so that's probably not going to come out till next week, I guess now, and maybe we can get it sent out. I have a measurement for a drive shaft, so I'm going to call around, see what kind of pricing I can get for a drive shaft to get made for this. Yeah, we're getting closer. Anyways, that's going to be it for this one, so like the video if you liked it. Subscribe to the channel if you're new, follow the build along. Head on over to ShaneWhalleyracing.com, pick up some merch, support the channel, support the build. As always, links are down in the description. And until the next one, I'll catch you guys later.